Yusef Abdul-Ali. It's
Yes,
a pleasure
sir.
to have you on.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the
Yes.
opportunity.
Yes. No, thank you. So you're the organizer and founder of Bitcoin Classic. So for those who don't know what that is, can you tell us, what is Bitcoin Classic and how did you come to conceptualizing the idea?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm an avid basketball junkie. You know what I mean? I coached it, I played it. And, up until last year, I ran a nonprofit organization centered around basketball. But when I got into the crypto space about, almost 2 years now, I just started trying to figure out a way like, okay, I wanted to do something in this crypto space and, kind of bring my passion of basketball into it as well. So, I came up with the name, the Bitcoin Classic, and I said, you know what, I'll try to do a traveling tour where we give back, some education and give some onboarding and education to, the basketball community, and also host like a elite tournament that goes along with it. So, and pay the players in actual Bitcoin. So it gives them more of an incentive to kind of learn and be a little more open-minded. Got 2 tournaments in my book, a Connecticut one and a Miami. And right now, kind of looking to plan for either the end of this year or just kind of going to 2022.
It was actually perfect timing because that was the Bitcoin conference that was going on as well. And we were so happy to be able to, partner with you guys and to get you actually at the conference for the 3-point competition and dunk competition.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. So what was the success like in Miami, and tell us about it?
I mean, the success in Miami, it was fun. It was a fun experience. We were, me and my team hit the ground running. People just showing up at the court wanting to be a part. But it was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of the Black Bitcoin billionaires. People that I see or hear on Clubhouse. I got to meet those guys in person. So it was a great experience. I mean, the success for me was just kind of meeting everybody that I was seeing on Clubhouse. We had a good turnout in terms of the 3-point shootout and also the dunk contest. So that was.
So about that, no, that's dope. But so I wasn't there for the 3-point and the dunk because I was doing interviews. So I was in the media lounge when you guys were outside doing that. But I got to see the clips and all that. But when Isaiah first ran it by me saying like, oh, like we can do a 3-point and dunk competition, I'm thinking, I was like, how many Bitcoiners can actually dunk? Like, I don't know. Like in my mind, I just imagine like a bunch of like tech nerds, like who are 5'8". I'm not sure they can get to the rim. Is this like regulation height? Like, but no, you had some real ballers.
Yeah. No, yeah, we definitely had some. I mean, the dunkers, the conference, kind of wanted the dunk contest, and they pushed that, but we ended up getting some real like legit pro dunkers. And I'm gonna put that footage out soon. I think I sent you the 3-point footage of Zay and Hill going at it in the 3-point shootout. That was pretty cool, pretty fun. But no, yeah,
Zay got a little follow through. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
You can tell he can shoot.
Nice.
You can tell. Hill was warming up. It took him a little while. But nah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time there.
In terms of, I think about, the sort of third person global perspective of this, right? Being able to use sports and media and entertainment as a vehicle for people to adopt Bitcoin, right? We definitely have to, find ways to meet people where they are. Like us Bitcoiners, when we get in our own silos, we think everybody knows about the difference between Austrian and Keynesian economics and Jerome Powell, like doing a meeting on the Federal Reserve. Like 99% of the world doesn't care about that. Like they don't care about that, and they don't know the implications. They may be affected by those outcomes, but they don't know, and they don't really care about the day-to-day monetary policy of countries. But we do care about sports. We do watch our athletes. We do follow them, and to use that to bridge the gap between the community, culture, and sports, and tie that to finances and a new monetary system, I think that's the way that you build real adoption and take Bitcoin to mass adoption levels.
I agree. And, you know, some of that stuff that you even mentioned, I'm still learning that, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, but, you know, once you kind of go down that, you know, as they say, the rabbit hole, you know, you start to kind of expand just your knowledge of it. And that's kind of the space I'm in myself. You know what I mean? I don't claim to be an expert or any type of, you know, educator, but what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to create a space where I can get people into that room where there is somebody there who can explain all of that good stuff and explain, you know, the nooks and crannies of Bitcoin, blockchain, just the whole world.
It's a deep rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Tell you that.
I purposely
Thousands
don't.
of hours.
Yeah, I purposely don't do that. I'm just trying to create a community centered around that basketball piece where we can provide, you know, some type of education or some type of a bridge to, you know, the whole crypto space. And I think it, you know, with the basketball tournament, the basketball piece, it is meeting people where they are, you know, where they're at. And, you know, the feedback that I've been getting back is all been positive, you know, from the players, you know, asking me, sending me text messages about, you know, should they sell it when it and I'm like, no, just hold it. So, you know, it's an experience, it's new. So it's just trying to like continually work on it and craft it to where it can reach the masses.
So you found that some certain players that were participating in the tournament that they didn't have Bitcoin before or didn't know anything about cryptocurrency, but after participating in the tournament, they started to ask more questions about it and they got more interested into it.
100%. So when I did the first one in Connecticut, I did that on May 2nd. And the team that won it, none of them had Bitcoin. You know, of course they heard about it, but they just never had
They
Bitcoin.
never owned it.
Yeah. So once I sent it to them, you know, they started doing their research, like sending me articles about, you know, whether a sports figure that's in the crypto as well. But all of them, you know, were saying they're gonna hold on to it. They're gonna hold it. So I was like, this is amazing, you know. But going into Miami, like the team that won it, all they were saying was like, listen, I want more of the coin. I want more of the coin.
Yep. So, once you get that first exposure to it and know that, wow, it's only going to be 21 million that will ever be distributed into the world fully. Actually, I'm pretty sure like 98%, close to 99% of it has already been mined. Wow. So, you know, we have, it's like 18.5 million has already been mined. So we're almost there. We're almost there. So it's kind of like the last push for people to be educated about this and to learn the actual benefits. So that's amazing. That's amazing. So actually break down a little bit of the tournament. Like, how does it look? What's the caliber of players? How people get signed up to it? How do people get into it?
So you can sign up on the bitcoinclassic.com. And what we're doing right now is we're doing like 4 to 8 teams everywhere we stop. So Connecticut had 4 teams, Miami had 8 teams, and the talent level for both really were overseas professional players. You know what I mean? A lot of teams had, you know, those guys that are either trying to get overseas, former college players, or they had current professional players playing. So it was really high level, which is for me, which is good, because a lot of these players, they have followings within their own neighborhoods, within their own areas. So it's like, if they're posting on their stuff like, oh, I won the Bitcoin bag, and a younger kid sees that, now they're going to be interested, like, what is Bitcoin? What is the Bitcoin bag? You know what I mean? And maybe do a Google search and research it. So it's definitely the talent level was pretty competitive, and we just do it like that. We do single elimination tournaments, 8 teams. You have to pay entry to get in, to secure your spot, and then whoever wins the tournament wins the Bitcoin, and that's how we do it. So it's real competitive. It's real competitive.
Dope.
Yeah.
And what's the actual winnings for like the finalists?
The winner, they received 25K worth of Bitcoin. So they all became
I could pocket that.
they all became like
I gotta work on my jump shot.
multi Satoshi millionaires with that Miami one. Some of them said they're gonna give it to their kids. So it's like it's just like, for me, I enjoy it, man, because you see people that you're kind of getting them into something that they probably never would have gotten into, or they might have gotten into it late once it already reaches 100,000, or once it supposedly reaches this astronomical number. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's basic supply and demand economics. That's not for this conversation, but
Right.
if you have a fixed supply of a utility
Mm-hmm.
and the demand increases,
Yeah.
then the price has to increase with that
Yeah.
demand. And it's, for the economic heads, like we read the charts and we know that, oh, wow, you can literally plot it on a chart of a general space of the price points where it could be, and then on a 4 to 5 year basis, like you can kind of track it a little bit if you're just following basic supply and demand economics. Has everybody taken those courses or gone through the literature? No. And to be honest, it's not that important. They don't have to. They
Right.
have kids to help with their schoolwork, and you got a 9 to 5 job. Like no, don't burden yourself with that, but
Right.
have avenues where you can learn from other people and be educated on this shift from a legacy system that is centrally controlled, where there's a group of 5, 6 people who control the monetary policy of the country, and they dictate to you how much you should get or where the funds will be located. But here in this new system is that you don't have to ask permission of nobody. You can be your own bank. You have freedom and autonomy over your own finances. So it's that sort of psychological shift, and it's really hard because we haven't seen anything before this, right? There's always been a point in time where a government or authority consolidated power and they made decisions on the monetary system, right? So this is completely new,
Yep.
and it takes a bit of onboarding, but avenues like you guys at TBC, it just makes it so much more digestible and fun.
Right.
Like I don't
Yeah.
want to have to feel like I'm doing a dissertation to understand where my money is coming and going and who owns it, and is it available to me. I want to kick back. The playoffs are happening right now,
Yeah.
so like if I can kick back, watch the Sixers and the Hawks. I mean, my Sixers, I'm not even going to talk about that. They dropped the ball in the last game. They were up by 30 plus, and then just lose it all. So I'm just absolutely disgruntled. But but it hurts. It hurts. But if we can use avenues to teach, but then also entertain, I'm all about putting the medicine in the candy, and that's what you guys are doing. And for the bigger concept is sponsors, like getting connected to other Bitcoin companies. Like they need to be connected to culture. They need to be connected to what's happening with everyday Americans and what they actually care about, right? Because that's how they build their revenue streams. That's how they build more clientele, is meeting people where they are, serving them things that they care about. And sports is 100% one of them.
For
So
sure. For sure. So yeah, that's kind of the vision, man. And you know, we spoke on it earlier, like the things that you can do with Bitcoin. Like, so for me, even funding this tournament, that's kind of how I funded it, through Bitcoin. So what I did was I it's risky, but and this is something that, you know, don't probably do what I did if if you're not good with risk. But you know, some of the Bitcoin that I had, I took a loan out against it. So I took the equity from the Bitcoin and used that money to fund this
wow.
TPC.
You did roll the dice.
Yeah. So I rolled the dice, but it gives you that option, and I didn't have to do a millions, 2 weeks worth of paperwork or wait on the bank in order to get that equity from, my investment. I was able to get it right away next day and hit the ground running. So that's certain things that you can do. I wouldn't say obviously don't take a loan out on your Bitcoin if it's not a business investment. Don't just do it and go splurge on something. But again, it gives you those options where maybe a kid's semester of school or something, you can take that, you could use that loan against your Bitcoin, and then slowly pay that Bitcoin back. So it's different ways that you can kind of make this work for you. And that's the beauty of why I enjoy having that freedom with Bitcoin, is because it allowed me to do that and allowed me to kind of get to this point where, I probably wouldn't have, probably wouldn't have. So that's one thing. And then also just, I think touching on the sponsors, I think that's huge. And that's why kind of where right now, I had two or three sponsors outside of the crypto space that kind of really believes in what I'm doing. So that was huge. So I'm, again, for 2022, I'm definitely trying to, connect with some solid and reputable, crypto companies, and we can kind of push this and make this like a big thing where we can kind of adopt a lot more people than what I'm currently doing. So yeah.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. No, we definitely gonna talk, and we're gonna make some calls for sure. We're gonna do what we need,
Yeah.
because this space needs sports entertainment. It needs culture,
Yeah.
because that's how you get the everyday American interested into it.
Right.
Not just the everyday American, but just globally, right?
Right.
And if we want this currency to be adopted globally, we need a global perspective,
For
right?
sure.
We need to hit all aspects of people's interests. So that's 100%. So what's next for the Bitcoin Classic? What's on the horizon?
Right now we're up in the air. We were supposed to do New York City, but I kind of want to introduce. I'm trying to introduce like a whole new, and I don't want to say it here, but
Okay, all right. Don't give away the secret sauce.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to adopt like a whole new approach to like watching sports right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just different avenues and different ways that players can benefit even more. So especially, I mean, players that are out of college and they're not professionals with contracts, but something that they can do, whether they get their community to watch the live stream, and then just trying to figure out ways where we can, I guess, incentivize people to do that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to shut down for 2021, this tour, and then kind of open back up for 2022, and probably hit 3 different states. So maybe, because this year we did Connecticut, Miami. So next year we'll probably do New York City, LA, and I want to do DC.
Oh, dope. Hey, that's where
go
I'm
to
at
D-
right now.
Okay, yeah, I
Let
want
me
to go
know.
down. Yeah, I want to go
Yeah.
down there and get the HBCUs involved, and do something with that. So yeah, that's kind of on the plate for next year.
Dope. Well, hey, let me know. I might have to knock off a little bit of the rust on my jump shot.
There you go.
But, I have a sports background. I was more football. So I played football in college, but
Yeah.
basketball all the way up into my junior year. And I just stopped growing. So I'm 5'9", and that sophomore to junior year, that's when the guys start to,
Yeah.
spring up. And I'm going because I'm like the D Wade. I'm the cutter slasher, get to the paint. And I was like, man, my shot is getting blocked more often. What is this? This is this happened quite frequently. Like, this is different now. This is different from 8th grade. So I was like, let me just hang up my jersey, put it in the rafters.
I was I'm 5'10", man. So luckily I was a point guard, so I can get away with it. But I got 2 brothers, they're both 6'3".
Oh,
and
there you go. That's where the height went.
Exactly. I was like, oh, yeah. If only I had that,
man. Well, Yusef, thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, definitely keep us updated with the next tournaments or anything that we can help get involved and, you know, help with outreach. We're here for sure.
I appreciate it, Ian. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. The BitcoinClassic.com. You can go get any information. Instagram is the Bitcoin Classic. We kind of keep everything updated there. But I appreciate you, Ian. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm a fan, man. I watch the shows.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you, bro.